Hey, Lightning McQueen, can you hear me okay? It's sort of a test, but it's mostly not. This is my first time going live. Can you hear me okay? All right. Welcome to the party. You are the first one ever on my first ever live stream. Welcome to Old Scrolls. We're going to be talking all astral projection tonight. Well, actually, it's in the morning. It's actually just now the witching hour here in Northern California. Yay, Tanya. Tanya, where are you from? Lightning McQueen, I'm trying to remember where you're from, too. I haven't got you all memorized yet, all 505 of you. I know, this is going to be so exciting. I'm so excited. I have so much knowledge to get out of this head because it needs to go back on the other side for a while. Yay, I got 2 people here already. That's cool. I'm sorry I didn't give you all notice. I did want to test out the live stream because I'm probably going to be doing a lot more of this than I am going to be doing videos, probably in the beginning. Texas. Okay, so you 6:07. No, you were 5:07. What are you doing up so early? Rainbow Spirit. That's awesome. Thanks for stopping over and subscribing. You all have subscribed to this channel, right? I hope. Tanya, Australia, Queensland. All right, Great Barrier Reef. I was telling Kirsty with a K. I met her. Do you realize I've been talking to you guys for all you guys that came over from the Jeff Mara podcast? You guys just totally made my day all day. I stayed up 24 hours talking to anybody that would talk to me. It was a very surreal day. The synchronicities are just off the chart. Now, are you able to hear any background music? Are there any echoes or anything? This is my first time using OBS to stream live. This is pretty exciting. You can hear music? Hello, Netherlands. Arian, nice to meet you. It's nice to meet you all. Oh, thanks. It was kind of nerve-wracking for me, though, you know. Okay, there's no music. Okay, I'm going to turn on something. Tell me if you hear music and tell me if I'm echoing, okay? Okay, you might hear music now. Tell me if you hear that music or not. I'm going to turn that down. I want to turn it down really low. Can you hear music now? No music. Okay. Well, that takes care of that test. Alright, I'm not going to worry about music. I was just trying to get some cool background music because we're going to talk about something very dear to my heart tonight. I called this Astral Projection Live Series Volume 1. How does that sound? Good. I don't want music. I just wanted to see if music would come through this. I have this thing called desktop audio. I wanted to see if my desktop audio would play you guys the music. All right, this is cool. I'm glad this is working. Um, this is very impromptu. In the future, I'm gonna announce when I do this kind of stuff. But um, I was gonna make a video about this tonight, but then I'm like, you know what? In the beginning here, when there's less than 1 million of you, I'd rather get to know you on a more personal level, instead of talking to a huge crowd of people, which I don't mind, but. Oh, you did hear music. Okay. Yeah, I muted that channel, so all you should hear is my sound of my voice. But it's okay, it's not peaking too high or anything. Okay, so we have Lightning, Rainbow, Spirit, and Arian, and did I say Tanya already? Tanya Kozak. So, getting back to talking to you all today, I talk to people all over the world, and I think I may have talked to a few of you, unless your name is different than on Facebook. Most people I talk to are on Facebook today. Oh, great. That's good to know. You know, I got this microphone back in 2013. I was building my studio. I'm a musician, but I haven't been able, I used to be in a lot of bands back in the day, like when I was a lot younger. But then I got out of the military and I became a manager, a software development manager, and all my free time went out the window then. Hey, brass piece. Let me guess. You play brass instruments. I'm guessing. Or maybe, I don't know. You play like a trumpet or a tuba, maybe? Okay. Thanks, brass. I appreciate that. You guys give me so much encouragement today. I talked to people from Germany. I talked to people in England. I talked to people from England that were in Sri Lanka. I met several Aussies from New South Wales, places I've never heard of before. But I'm telling you, the synchronicities, like everybody I talked to today, I felt like I had known them my whole life. It was just amazing. Like, this moment was meant to come, and I was meant to meet all of you at this moment. It's very, very special. And Jeff and Mara, if you're listening to this in the future or right now, you're not here right now, but if you listen to this in the future, thank you so much for um, helping spread this message and making sure all of our family was reconnected again. I want to find out how we're all connected. That's a big thing on my checklist. What were you working on years ago? Brass. Thanks, Lightning McQueen. Appreciate it. You guys gave me so much encouragement today, and I was afraid that nobody would want to watch it because it's so long. I mean, I just scratched the surface of my experience with Jeff. And I tried to fit it all into an hour and a half, and it's very frustrating because it's too much. It's too much knowledge. And we never discussed multiple, Jeff and I never discussed multiple episodes, so I was trying to cram everything into one block of time, and it's just impossible. Brass, what were you working on? Oh, it was some. What was something you were working on years ago? Oh, the brat, your name. I got it. That's a cool thing. Well, thank you for doing that for us. I served during the Cold War. I joined the Air Force in 1988 after I graduated high school, and then the Gulf War started, and I don't know how many of you remember that fun time. um, I lost some friends in that war, and yeah, then I got out 10 years later, and then all this other stuff started with 9/11 and everything. I let all the youngsters take over. Oh man, this is my book. You are in my book right now. Oh, you're very welcome, Brass. I'm going to come up with a nickname for all of you. Even if we get to like 1 million subscribers, I'm going to have a nickname for everybody. That's just how I roll. So once I get to know you and your personalities and everything, I'll figure out what to call you all. Okay. You think we should start now? Or should we wait for a few more people? I guess I guess I could just I guess I could just start and everybody can play it back later. Hello from Belgium. Wow, welcome. You're my first subscriber that I know that is from Belgium, Catherine. It's very nice to meet you and everybody here. Start. All right. All right. Okay. I'm going to get some different music. So I kind of like a little background music. I have really bad tinnitus, this Lyme disease. I don't know how many of you know what that is, but it's a terrible affliction. It's a miracle I'm just sitting here talking to you tonight, really. I mean, it's a complete miracle. But um, one thing, I have really bad tinnitus, so I always like to have um, some nice music in the background, whatever I'm doing, or maybe a TV on or something. Just something to. Dead silence is very bad because it. And also, Lyme disease affects your vision. Like, I really don't like bright lights a lot, so that's why you see me kind of in the dark and all these candles around me. Okay, so tonight. Now, have any of you all talked on Jeff's podcast before, or are all you have never talked before? I wish I could hear you all talking. That would be cool. Maybe I could open up a Zoom sometime, but does anybody know how many people you can have in a single Zoom session at a time? I haven't looked into that yet, but I would like to do something like that. Anybody who would like to talk to me live, that would be cool. You just listen to his videos? Nice. Okay. Well, okay, so as I was saying, I talked to a lot of people today from all around the world, and it was very overwhelming and in a good way. And I ask a lot of people what would they like me to talk about first, and the majority of people that told me what they wanted to know more about astral projection. So I decided to hold off on a foreign language aspect for tonight, and I also figured out that I'm probably going to do the language stuff during the day, during like the afternoon, evening my time, and then later on at night I'll cover topics like this, like astral projection and other things like that. Ah, Namlas, I recognize your name. Okay, lesson number 1. There is no such thing as a past life. I used to think and believe we had past and future lives. And we sort of do, but remember, um, we have current lives, even though to us they're past and future, but they're not. Everything is happening right now. And it's really hard. It's going to be hard for your brain to comprehend that because we're trapped into this reality here. It is not dangerous to astral project. Matter of fact, we do it every night. Even if you don't know you're doing it, you're doing it. Oh, Brass? Okay, well, come back and watch the replay then. That's fine. It's nice to meet you. I look forward to meeting you in the future, and have a safe trip to work and have a safe work day. Okay, so no, it's not dangerous to astral project at all. And there's a lot of misinformation on the internet, just to let you know. I remember when I learned about it, I just happened to get lucky. Well, there's no such thing as luck either, right? I was fortunate enough to crash land into a big beehive of astral projectors who took me under their wing and taught me the ropes. But that's only the first part. I'm going to tell you everything you need to know to come out of your body tonight in this live episode. So, if you don't get everything I say live, play it back as many times as you need to, because I'm going to tell you everything you need to do starting tonight or today or whenever you have an opportunity to try this. I'm going to tell you everything you need to know. It's not dangerous. Like I say, we do it every night. Normally, when you go to sleep, you go unconscious. Your mind, we don't even know when we go unconscious. We just fall asleep. But there's a lot of stuff going on when you fall asleep. Your pineal gland excretes melatonin and serotonin too. It's hard to comprehend it all right now. I know. Don't worry. It'll all make sense one day to you. I can't wait. I can't wait for the first one of you to have your very first experience. And also, I've created a Facebook page for my channel, but I haven't told any of you yet because I want to kind of still have a few things I want to research on how it works. But I was thinking about Discord, but I'm on Discord. I'm on Discord for some other channels I've been following for a long time, and the thing about Discord is it's cool. It's a good place to meet and talk and post and stuff, but it kind of seems like it detracts away from the channel, and not a lot of people usually engage with Discord, I found. But I want to have a place where everybody can post their experiences, where we can all read and learn together how everybody's doing and congratulate people that make progress. Well, yes, your third eye is already open, but um, your third eye already works. and I could probably give you a half a dozen examples of how it's worked for you this week. You just don't know you're using your third eye. And that's another kind of misinformation I hear all the time is people say you have to decalcify your pineal gland and all this stuff. I just kind of don't just subscribe to that, because when I first started trying to astral project, I drank some milk one time, and it actually amplified my third eye experience. I found that calcium or whatever's in milk, something's in milk that actually amplifies your third eye. So yeah, your third eye is nothing more. It's actually just like your two eyes, but it has different sensors, kind of like dolphins have sort of a sonar capability. That's kind of our sonar. It allows us to pick up frequencies that these other senses can't pick up, and that's how we communicate too, telepathically. Is with this group of sensors right here. So yeah, it's pretty incredible. Okay, so also before I get started on astral projection, I had this epiphany today when I was talking to you guys and getting to know you, and I don't know why I didn't think about this before. And I'm going to kind of skip into it like an advanced part of astral projection, and I'm going to talk about binaural beats. And there's these things called isochronic tones. Have you guys ever heard of those two things? Anyway, um, okay, so what are the benefits of astral projection? Good question. Well, guess what? While your body's sleeping, you can travel the multiverse, I call it, or the universe. You can go anywhere. You can, let's say you want to go see what the moon is like. You can, maybe you want to go visit and see where we put a flag and a plaque down on the moon. Or you want to go visit Saturn. Or you want to leave our solar system and you just want to go visit a galaxy far, far away. You can do all of that while your body sleeps. Our spirits, our souls, they don't require any sleep. So that's one huge benefit right there. Just think about it. The possibilities are endless. Okay, binaural beats, okay. Binaural beats were invented by a guy named Walter Monroe. He founded the Monroe Institute, you may have heard of. I think it's in Virginia, if I'm not mistaken. Ah, that's interesting, Catherine. Oh, hey, IT3, welcome to the party. Where are you from? What kind of synchronicity? Oh, do you not understand the word synchronicity? And maybe you can ask me in a little different way. Okay, so so Nam is, am I saying your name right? Namlas. Let's be able to astral project tonight. Oh yes. Well, don't get your hopes up too much. It is possible for you to astral project tonight, but you'd have to be extremely, extremely lucky. And I would be jealous because it took me 56 nights to do it, and I'm telling you, I tried all kinds of things. I got so frustrated, but I'm going to tell you everything. But first, I wanted to finish answering some of these questions. So Nam, so binaural beats help to, yes. I'll explain how they help you. And actually, speaking of the Gulf War, I was stationed in Hawaii when the Gulf War started, and I lived I lived across the tarmac from a National Guard helicopter base um, that was across the street from us and Schofield Barracks, which is the Army's 25th Light Infantry. And the sound, they would fly sorties around the clock, Cobra helicopters, and we didn't have Apaches back then. We had Cobras, which the Marines flew a lot of, and we had your Blackhawks and some Chinooks. So the way binaural beats work, there's two types of things you can listen to when you're trying to astral project. One are binaural beats, and you spelled it right. And binaural beats they were actually used. They were experimented on with people that were in surgery for pain control and all kinds of stuff. But what happens with binaural beats is you have two different frequencies in each ear, but your brain will actually take each of those frequencies and put them together and make one frequency. And that's the epiphany I had today. What if, check this out, what if we get millions of people from around the world to put in their earbuds at the same time and listen to the same binaural beat at the same time? So we're all in sync. We're all vibrating at the same frequency. Wouldn't that be cool to see what would happen? I've never heard of anybody attempting that before. It's just this epiphany I had today. I'm like, why haven't I thought of this before? Like, this is so cool. Like, you know how we have days where we ask everybody around the earth to just turn off their porch light for 1 hour every night and see how much electricity we can save? Or why don't we all try to vibrate at the same frequency at the same time, anywhere, all around the earth? Like, we have people in every country on the earth on our team, and we'll coordinate a time to do it, and I think that would be so cool. I know, right? I've been thinking about that ever since I had this epiphany. I mean, like, figuring out how we could. This is a good place to start. You know, we got to get more people to come here and join us and be a part of it that way. Um, and um, I'm sure that some other podcasters and stuff will want to talk with me in the future. We'll get more people from everywhere, and I'm gonna be looking to drive traffic here too in ways. I know, right? I was thinking, how can we all do something to speed up this whole process and like change the earth? Because the pyramids actually, I think the pyramids actually might still be working and generating a power that helps control. maybe how our planet is rotating and things. Who knows what that energy they're generating is doing. I don't even think scientists even know that right now. They just know that there's all kinds of crazy frequencies and stuff going on around there. Hey Dan, welcome to the party. It's nice to meet you. It's a very pleasure to meet all of you. K. Is that your name, K? Just K? Is that what I should call you from now on? Just K? What's the meaning of your name? Of your letter? I have not been to the pyramids physically in this body, but I've been to them in other ways. Thomas, good morning. Where are you from? And welcome home to all of you guys. You have to go to work soon. Okay, that's fine. No problem. You can always just watch this back later on. There'll be a copy of it. I've already uploaded the thumbnail and everything for it. Massachusetts. All right. Do you live near Boston? When I went to military intelligence school with the Army after I graduated Air Force basic training, we went to the school in, let's see, it was called Fort Devens, which was in Shirley, a little town called Shirley and Air. Do you know where those two places are? But Lightning McQueen, I've done great research on the pyramids over the years. I've always been fascinated by them. You know, they used to be, when you looked at them, actually, a lot of people don't know, and I don't even think they tell you this in textbooks, but back when the pyramids were first built, the Nile River, they were actually either in the middle of the Nile River or they were next to the Nile River. Either way, they were on the river. And that was done on purpose because those shafts that go down into the ground, those actually went down into the aquifer. And that helped to generate lots of electricity. And that's what those shafts are. They're basically conducting shafts. Is actually, and you know, alternating current and direct current are those are exchanges of electrons, and those are vibrating at certain frequencies. Eduardo, welcome home, brother. España. Yo hablo español también. Delayed response. I can't imagine it will take me a while to be able to actually astral project. Well, if you think you're not going to astral project, then you probably won't. So make sure you get your confidence up. Remember, our thoughts are very, very, very powerful. If you think you're going to fail or not do it not do good at something, then you probably aren't going to do good. You always have to tell your mind that you are or already are good at it. Put it that way. The law of attraction is very powerful. Eduardo, ¿cómo está usted? ¿De dónde en España Bibis. Español es mi tercer idioma. Qué bueno. Madrid. Qué bueno. I've never been to Madrid, but I will get there one day. I've had other problems to deal with here. Dan, yes, you can do anything while you're projecting. Actually, okay, so let me tell everybody this. So I just want to, now that I told you everybody about my epiphany today, we can move on to the actual subject at hand. So when we go to sleep every night, we don't just dream. Our spirits actually come out of our bodies naturally. And I don't know what percentage of the time we travel places, but remember, when I died, I told you, and I don't know, you know, I have to believe that what I experienced when I died actually is happening everywhere. And why would it just be limited to me? I mean, that is a possibility. I cannot discount that. I can't just say everybody is living a million lives at once like I did. I mean, yes, there are possibilities where it could have just been a unique experience for me. As a scientifically minded person, I can't rule that out. However, that would not agree with Occam's razor, you know. We need books. Everybody always tells me that, but you know what? I was torn, but I wanted. I can't meet you all and interact with you all if I'm writing a book, and you know, by myself in a corner somewhere. That wouldn't do me any good. I'm meant to meet you all and be like a translator. I can't do that if I'm stuck writing a book in a cabin. And although I do like the idea of being in an isolated cabin for a while and up in the mountains and with all the snow, that would be cool. But I've already done that once, so I got that off my bucket list. I'm writing a book right now, live. I'm writing a book live. You are part of my book. Isn't that cool? Okay. Okay, Nam, are you still with us? Let me see. I just figured out how to see who's here by clicking on participants. Nam is no longer here. Maybe, hopefully he got my answer or one of my suggestions for him. Nam asked, what are the benefits of astral projection? So, one of the benefits is you can travel anywhere you want while you sleep. Isn't that cool? I mean, your spirit doesn't need sleep, so why are you staying in your body while it rests? You don't have to do that. You can go out every night and travel the universe. And you can be gone a long, 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 long time while your body sleeps. Just think about all the knowledge you can learn. Like, I haven't been trying to do it since 2000. I had my last huge experience in like 2012 or 13. So it's been 7, 8, 9, almost 10 years, almost a decade since I last tried to astral project. That's how profound these experiences were for me. I'm still processing these experiences. That's how it'll change your life. I gotta warn you guys, when you try to do this, it will change your life for the better. I've never heard of a horror story, but let me tell you, one of the biggest, I'll tell you all the pitfalls that I've seen over the years, because I've taught so many people to do this since I learned how to do it. Oh, hey, Nam, you're still here. You're back. Books are so past. Like when you finish writing it, you moved on already. Exactly. But this is so much more fun to meet you guys and figure out how we're all connected while we're learning, while you're actually listening to me write a book with my voice. I guess. I just hope you don't get tired of it. This is my first time doing anything like this live. I've spoken in front of big crowds before, like, for a speech, or in the military, when I became a non-commissioned officer, they make you go to a leadership school where you learn all kinds of skills, like you have to take a class in speech just like you would in college. So we actually got credit for speech in that school, and they teach you not to be shy in front of when you speak, and they teach you not to say and a lot. What are you stuck on, Thomas? The silence. The silence of what, Catherine? Of reading a book by yourself? Thanks, Nam. You're awesome. Hey, Nam, you're the one who told me my volume was low in the comments yesterday, right? If I remember right. How's my volume sound tonight? Live. Oh, yes. Flying through glass windows is awesome, isn't it? Oh, wait till I tell you some of my experiences. You're going to laugh. When I first started learning how to do it. One time I actually flew out of bed. I used the rollout technique, and I actually floated up really fast, and I hit the ceiling fan. And the ceiling fan slung me across my bedroom, and I went through the wall, through the garage, out through the garage door, and onto the driveway, concrete. And I looked around, and I'm like, this is not where I live. And then I remember I took this, I started running down the sidewalk in front of my house, and I just took off like a bird. It was so awesome. Good. That's awesome. Should I put a little more power into it, or is this a good volume for everybody? I can mess with my gain over here. I don't have any fancy equipment. All this equipment I've had for a long time, it's just been collecting dust. And I didn't even get it for this purpose. I got it from my studio. From a studio that a recording studio that I planned on building one day. Okay, Catherine, when you stop time, it happens, for example, when you do Tai Chi. Then something happens. When many do Tai Chi together, something happens. I think you're meant that doing these beats together. Yes. Yes. Okay, so here's my idea. So when you listen to binaural beats, you don't, since you're playing a different frequency in each ear, you don't want to play them over your speakers because it won't work. You have to have something that's really close to your head. So earbuds are perfect, or a nice set of headphones will work too. But at some point, you're probably going to lay on your side. If you're a side sleeper like me, I don't normally sleep on my back. But if I'm really trying to astral project, I'll start on my back. But at some point, you're going to want to, if you're a side sleeper, you're going to sleep on your side, and headphones can be uncomfortable. I couldn't communicate with them. I thought I want to go back, and I was back. Yes, you're actually at the end of my training session tonight. Whenever you want to come back to your body, you just think about your body, and you're instantly sucked back in. That's all you have to do. Everything happens with your mind. It's so tempting to move your muscles. It's so tempting, and that will ruin your experience right away. As soon as you move a muscle, you'll come right out of that trance. Okay, so here we go. Here's the keys to the kingdom on how to astral project. All right, volume better. I like it. What is sleep paralysis? Yes, sleep paralysis is designed to not allow you to sleepwalk. Melatonin, when it gets injected into your muscles, normally you're already unconscious when that process happens. Okay, but when so the next question is, what's the difference between regular meditation and astral projection? Because they're very similar. In astral projection, you're actually putting your body to sleep. In meditation, you don't do that. So what happens is, okay, so these are the 4 or 5 things you have to have, the 5 ingredients you have to astral project. Do any of you all vape like I do? Okay. You've experienced a real terror and panic during my first sleep paralysis. Yes. Okay. The number one thing you have to. Okay, so these are the 2 main pitfalls I've seen, or the main problem why people can't astral project at all is they're afraid of something. Okay? You got to remember, you have, just like you have hot and cold, there's love, and then there's fear. Those 2 are the opposite of each other. So what you want is to have a lot of love in your heart chakra, if you will. So a lot of people might understand that better if I say it that way. You want to fill this part of your body with, just to do that, just think about something that happened in your life that's really special. It really makes you happy inside. You know, it may be a past memory. It may be something that happened to you yesterday or a week ago or whatever. But you want to think about something, like the best thing that ever happened to you. Maybe it's something you got for Christmas when you were 6 years old or something. You just got to remember that one moment that fills you up with so much love and joy. This is a must in astral projection. You have to have a lot of love in your heart. That's why I'm telling you. What flavor am I vaping? I am vaping. Let's see if I can show you. It's called Magic Elixir, and it's Pineapple Express. You know why I'm vaping this flavor is because we have a Pineapple Express that's been off our coast for the last month. It's bringing in low pressure system after low pressure system, and now they call it they call them atmospheric rivers now. They don't use the term Pineapple Express. But the reason they call it Pineapple Express is because if you look on a satellite image, you'll see a line of clouds going all the way from like Washington State all the way down to the Hawaiian Islands. It makes a big arc, and the low pressure systems usually flow from Hawaii on up. But this year, they're coming straight across like a zonal flow. And meteorology is one of my biggest hobbies, by the way. I've always liked it. Everybody in my whole life said I should have been a meteorologist, but I had too many other hobbies, I guess. I don't know. I love astronomy, too. I just love anything that deals with nature, really. I mean, creation. Anything that deals with how everything works. Like, if I don't learn something every day, I feel like I failed the day. Like, I have to learn something every day. It doesn't matter what it is. It could be something trivial, but I have to learn something. I don't know. I've always been that way. Are any of you like that? Yeah, it smells really good. Smells like pineapple. And it tastes like pineapple. Sylvia Brown. That's the second time I've seen that name today, in the last 48 hours at least. Okay, the feeling of something dark being in the room with you when you. Oh, okay, so. Okay, I told you the first ingredient you have to have love. Have to have love in your heart. So, once you have these experiences, whether it be a near death experience or an astral projection, you're going to find out really fast that the Bible, like for example, when you read, if you read the Bible, or if you've gone to church in your life, you're going to find out that everything that's in there makes sense. It's all common sense when you really think about it. There's those. I don't know. Don't ask me to quote you anything specific, but I just remember there's stuff in there that says, "Go within." The kingdom of God is within you, or whatever. And there's so many religions that say that same type of thing. It's true. Everything's inside you. You don't have to go anywhere. You don't have to build a spaceship. You don't have to. It's all about our spirit. Now, if you want to carry some cargo somewhere, that's a little hard to do in spirit form. So this would be the only reason you would need a spaceship, is if you wanted to carry some kind of cargo somewhere. And I do believe there is a way. In theory, there is a way where you can travel at the speed of gravity, because gravity and sound are one and the same. And if you want to look, there's an article. There was an experiment done at the Middle Tennessee State University. I remember reading the article, and they proved that sound is faster than light. True story. These students at this university did an experiment where they proved that sound is not what we're taught in our textbooks. And that's the last time I've ever heard of that story. But yet you can go on Google and you search for this article, you'll see what I'm talking about. Sound is the key. This is how we built the pyramids back then. We built it with sound. We levitated stones. Sound is very powerful. And like everything around us is vibrating. We just have to figure out what the frequencies are and cancel out the gravity and magnetic fields and make them the same. And there you go. You defy gravity that way. I know it's easier said than done. Oh, it's raining. Yes, learning something every day is a must. Okay, so love. Okay, so put that on your list. You got before you try this, make sure that you have lots of love in your heart. This will get you. When you hear people saying you want to raise your vibration, that's how you do it. You put a lot of love in your heart. Yeah. The secret. The secret is the feeling. Yeah, happy trick. Yeah, so just think about the times when you've just been so happy, like maybe you fall in love with somebody, those butterflies you get in your stomach. Number one, love in your heart. Okay, I'll move it on, Lightning, don't worry. Okay, number 2, second ingredient for astral projection, that's the next most important thing, is you have to relax all your muscles in your body. So I would recommend starting on just lying on the back, propping your pillow up. If you have sleep apnea like I know I have now, put on your CPAP mask because you don't want any interference. You don't. Also, make sure if you have pets that love to, like a dog that likes to jump on you in the bed, make sure they can't do that to you because you want to be totally interrupted. You don't want anything to inhibit, or you don't want anything to cause you to move. Like, this is the frustrating part because, sometimes you have an itch on your nose and you're sitting there and you're trying not to move and you have this little itch that comes, this little itch that crops up. It could be on your head or your nose, and you're like, damn it. And you have to scratch it and then you have to start over. But there's techniques where you don't have to really start over again. You just, there's techniques you'll develop as you practice. You'll find little shortcuts on how to get back to where you were. And I'll teach you some shortcuts in a second. I know you're not rushing me, but I feel you. I know when I learned this information, I was like, oh my God, I wish I had this when I was younger as a kid. Just reiterating to show on list. Oh, I like your butterfly. That's cute. Okay. So relaxing. So a good, I also wouldn't recommend on YouTube. There's a lot of videos that will say it's a guided meditation or a guided astral projection. I wouldn't recommend those to you unless you really feel like you need someone to hold your hand to relax. To me, it's like more distracting when somebody's constantly talking, telling you what to do. You want just complete stillness and quiet. And if you're like me and you have tinnitus and stuff, these binaural beats really help get you into that mood. And don't get a binaural beat that has a bunch of strings going on in the background like a symphony orchestra or whatever. That, to me, that's just really distracting. It's not necessary. You just want 2 tones, one frequency in this ear or one frequency in this ear. just a plain two different tones. And you'll hear the difference right away. When you first hear the tones start, you'll hear they're not in sync. But then you'll start hearing this wavering sound in your ears. It'll go wom 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 wom, and your brain will make one frequency out of those two different frequencies. It's amazing how it works. Wait till you experience it. You're going to be like, wow. Deb at the beach, welcome home. I've been waiting on you. Which beach are you at? I've lived near the beach my whole life. I grew up in Florida. I've lived on the Atlantic side, and I've lived on the Gulf of Mexico side. Virginia, like Virginia Beach? I was stationed there many moons ago, and that was my last duty station. I was stationed out of a detachment at Langley, but I worked with the Navy down in Northwest, which is right on the North Carolina-Virginia border, near Chesapeake. Nice. Okay, so frequencies, a very good question. You can actually there's some pretty cool apps now you can download that actually have a tone generator that will generate that have like two oscillators or two virtual oscillators, and you can generate your own tones. There are a lot of frequencies like 444, and the Earth's frequency is like 7.3 hertz. And okay, I don't know if you know how frequencies work, but that's all I worked with in the military, so I know them well. So frequencies work in harmonics. They call them. If you double a frequency, like if it's 500 hertz, and you doubled that to 1,000 hertz, that's called a harmonic. So that's how your ears also hear things. Your ears actually will take let's say you have a frequency that, one of those really high frequencies like only a dolphin or a dog or cat could hear. You can step that down. You can divide it in half and keep dividing it in half until it gets into your audio, the human spectrum, where a human can hear. And that's like, I believe it's like 2 hertz to 20,000. See, hertz or kilohertz? No. I gotta look that up. Stand by. Let us see. Let's do a Google. Let's see. The human ear audio range. Okay, there you go. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, 20 hertz to 20 kilohertz, or 20,000 hertz. So I was right. But you can also just say 20 kilohertz. So 20 hertz, and a hertz is just one cycle. That's all it is. It's one wave up and down. That's it. That's a hertz. Whoop. So you can go from 20 of those. That's the lowest frequency your ear can hear, up to 20 kilohertz. So yeah, like the planets, all the planets make their own unique frequencies. We can't hear them with our ears. So the way they did it, you can go on YouTube and just type in frequencies of the planets, and you can hear. You can actually listen to how Earth sounds. Earth has a really eerie sound to it. I think probably the coolest one would be Saturn. Saturn has some really cool sounds as well. Okay. Did that answer your question, Eduardo? Am I boring anybody yet? Okay. So, okay, now we're going to go back to relaxing. So just um, get in a comfortable position. You can lay on your side or lay on your back or wherever makes you feel comfortable. But wherever you lay, make sure that you're in a comfortable position where you can. I, I don't recommend the side to start on your side, because what happens is when you lay on your side or lay on your stomach, you're squishing things. You're actually putting pressure on muscle groups. And you don't want any pressure on any muscle. You just want to totally put them asleep. Yeah, right? 56 times. Wait till you find out what I had to do to get the experience. It's pretty interesting. I'm just going to tell you everything I did. You may have to come up with your own unique little tricks that only work for you. But I'll tell you everything I did until I was able to get one. At first, I was very skeptical. I was like, maybe you can't do it. Maybe all these people are just saying you can do it and you can't. But I proved that it is 100% legit. Oh, thanks, Deb. Um, yeah, if you guys ever want to do a deeper dive into binaural beats, for example, just Google Walter Monroe. Here, I'll type it in. I'll type it in the chat window here. Walter Monroe, uh, binaural beats, and there's also something called Isochronic Tones. Isochronic tones are kind of like binaural beats, and you can actually combine them to make one like thing. But isochronic tones uses a little different method to help hypnotize you. That's basically what it does. It hypnotizes you. The binaural beats sync your two hemispheres of your brain together, so they're both working in synchronicity, which doesn't happen on a normal level. But this guy Walter Monroe, he used to own like all the radio stations in New York, the state of New York, pretty much, and he did a lot of research with those. He actually did a lot of research for the U.S. government and the military, and he had lots of patents. Like he got patents. He used binaural beats for, like I said, pain as he used binaural beats as an analgesic, and all kinds of different applications. You have to log on to work. Oh, okay. I see you lurking in the shadows. But yeah, Deb, you can always just um, rewind it when you get off work or whatever. It'll be saved on my channel. Jim Husky. Yeah, what did I say, Walter? Or is it Robert Monroe? I think it is Robert. Yeah, the guy, the gentleman who invented binaural beats, and he patented or he copyrighted Hemisync, a program that actually entrains your brain. Yeah, I think it's Robert Monroe. I do that. My mind does that sometimes. It, it's I'm bad with names at times. I think I inherited that from my father. When he was my age, he used to call like, um, remember the group, the police, he used to call it patrol and all kinds of weird stuff. Like air supply, he called something else. It was so funny. I'm like, Dad. Okay, so back to relaxing. So you want to relax all the muscles in your body. So just, I would recommend on your back. This is where I've had the best results, is on my back. Even though I'm not a back sleeper, but you don't want to sleep. That's the opposite thing you want to do. But it's going to be very common for you to fall asleep for a while until you're able to keep. So the whole goal you're trying to accomplish is you want to put your body to sleep while you keep your mind awake. Robert Monroe, gotcha. Yep. Sorry. So instead of Walter, I'll put Robert Monroe. There we go. There we go. Robert Monroe. Okay. So just start with. Okay. So just spread out on your bed. Just make sure your arms are just, everything is just loose. Just let everything go limp. Okay? The hardest things to get really limp is your shoulder and neck muscles. You're going to want to add a little extra time to get those really loose and loosened up. And the best way I can tell you to do that in a fast way is just when you just let out a big, like when you've had a hard day or something, you just go, just do that. Take a deep breath in and just let everything out, and just all your breath and everything, just pretend you are just defeated. You have nothing left in you. Just get everything out, okay? And while you're doing that, okay, then the next thing you're going to want to do is, okay, so you have love in your heart. Then you have to dispel fear. This is probably the number one pitfall for most people that I know of, where they go wrong. They're afraid they're never going to come back to their body, and they read this stuff on the internet, which is a bunch of crap. These people there's a bunch of misinformation out there. Melissa Mouse, good morning. Are you still in British Columbia? Now, see, I didn't know you. I didn't meet you as Melissa Mouse. I met you as a different name. But I saw Melissa Mouse on a link you shared with me. That's right. You were Princess Lala. Princess Lala. Something like that. I think I called you that. Lala. Yes. All right. Well, we got through the witching hour. It's 4:29 here now. So all the ghosts and goblins have left us. Lala is your birth name. Okay. Lala it is. I was telling everybody, if you listen to this from the beginning, I was telling people when there was like 4 people in here in the beginning, I was like, I'm going to figure out a nickname for every one of you all. I don't care if we have a couple million subscribers one day. I will have a different nickname for each one of you. That's just how I've always been. I remember names better that way if I personalize it. Yeah. Yeah, I'm glad you guys are, you found, I didn't announce this. It was very impromptu. I was like, well, it's the middle of the night. I want to test out going live because I realize I need to use this method to communicate with you guys more than just videos. There's going to be times when I have these epiphanies, and this is going to be a easier way to get messages out to you faster. So I don't have to do all this editing and oh, I don't know if any of you guys have ever tried to start a channel or edit your own videos. It's not a fun thing. It's not a fun learning curve to overcome. Therese. Yes, I am supposed to be looking for a princess in this life. Do you know where she is? I don't even have a name to go by either. I just had to find a princess. So imagine. You know, that got me into a lot of trouble when I was younger. Because I was searching the whole world. And, you know, I had to learn every language, so I would learn other languages in exchange. You know, and I taught English in exchange for learning other native languages, and I met people that way, you know, back when the internet first started, and that got me into some trouble because I was very spontaneous, and I just, you know, I didn't, it was, yeah, whatever. It's all water under the bridge now. You just gotta laugh now. Right. Princess Lala. We met last night. She wrote me. And yes, Princess Lala might have a key to the universe that we all need. We need to pay close attention to her. She has a very interesting story that I'll let her share if she wants to one day with everybody. False teachers, false princesses. Yes, that's correct. Okay, where was I? Yes, relaxation. Okay, I think we've covered that pretty good. Okay, so the hardest, I was telling you, the hardest thing a lot of people have, and I mean, this is probably 95% of the failure in astral projection is because a person is afraid to do it. Therese, what is that emoji? What is that? It looks like a duck with a beehive hairdo, or like one of those Jetson kind of hairdos. Yeah, I invited Princess Lala to be a guest one day. The key is we are all equal. That's right. We should only let our conscious rule, not people, not ego. That's right. What if it is all about, what if it is not about a princess literally? What if it's a password, Eduardo? Remember, I don't know if any of you remember. My mom used to watch these soap operas when I was a little kid. Like, I think she was more into like, was it CBS? Yeah, I think it was CBS. Back then, we only had 3 channels. Well, 4 if you count the UHF channel, the 45 channel or whatever. But there was only 3 channels. Everybody had an antenna on top of a telephone pole in their driveway or on top of their house somehow. But anyway, my mom, I think she was more into the As the World Turns and that line of soap operas. But what was it on ABC? You had what was the one with Luke and Laura? I remember Luke and Laura. Oh, General Hospital. That's what it was. So in General Hospital, they had the season that ended where they were on a deserted island somewhere, and there was this secret cave, secret cave complex they had to get into, and it had this little keypad that popped out of this rock, and I remember the password was Ice Princess. The one. Ah. So yeah, I don't know. Princesa. Princesa and Príncipe in Espanol. And then king is rey and reina for king and queen. Okay, anyway, back to astral projection. Okay. I gotta make sure I have more water on hand for my future lives. Okay, so okay, so you got to get rid of fear, and I don't really know how to tell you to do this other than I don't know. How do you tell someone? How do you tell a woman that's afraid of spiders not to be afraid of spiders? But that's not the kind of fear I'm talking about. But I want you to understand it's kind of the same thing. There are certain fears that you might have that you've been carrying through many lifetimes, and you have to break that chain, that cycle. And I think fear is really fear of the unknown. You know, people are afraid to die. We don't die. I've already told you that. So why be afraid of something that doesn't happen? You might be afraid of heights. Guess what? If you fall off a cliff, you're not going to die, right? Your body will go splat, but your spirit won't. And when you look at it in that light, there is nothing to be afraid of, ever. Nothing. You should never be afraid of snakes or spiders or plane crashes or car wrecks or whatever. There is no reason to be afraid. And until you can somehow understand that and get over that, it's always going to be a thorn in your side when you're trying to project. So, but I'll help you in any way I can. I don't know how though, but I'll try my best to help you come up with I'll encourage you. You know, I don't know. I'll figure out a way if you just really can't get rid of your fears. But that's the biggest, number one problem with projecting is fear. Okay. Because really, you're when you have all this love in your heart, when you have a fear, it cancels out that love. It's like, whoop, gone. Now you have no love in your tank. You have to have love in your tank to get to a certain frequency so you can get out of your body. That's why all these things in the Bible, like I was saying, all these teachings from all these gurus and swamis or whatever, they all teach you the same thing. You know, love your neighbor as your brother. Oh my God. Even Paul, the book of Paul, I think, has a thing where he was telling the what was the name of the people? Not the Phoenicians. He was telling whatever the name of the people was he was living with amongst. He told them the number, or actually, I think it was Jesus who said the number one, the number one commandment you should follow is love thy neighbor. As you know, love thy neighbor as your brother. Really, this is the golden rule. I mean, if we just have love, if you just have love in your heart, I mean, that's all you need, right? It's really simple. So just imagine, okay, let's say you're a prepper, okay? You're afraid that there's going to be an asteroid or a nuclear war, or so that generates fear, right? So really, once you get over fear, you're free. You are totally, totally free. And then you realize I can't die. So now you could take that and use it in a negative way, that kind of attitude too. I mean, you could say, okay, well, I'm not going to die, so let's just go rob a bank. But you will create a lot of bad paradoxes which will come back to haunt you big time. So you don't want to do that. So yeah, the fear is kind of put there so you won't do certain things. It's a control mechanism. And it's a control mechanism that has been put in our path for whatever reason, whether it be the negative side doing that, or maybe it's just evolved that way. I'm not sure yet. But Tanya, I think I'm starting to lose my fear. Yes! No fear. No more. It's the things you don't even realize I'm afraid of. Okay, give us one thing that's not death that you're afraid of. Sorry to put you on the spot, but I want to make sure I understand what you're saying. Eve, welcome. I've been waiting on you. And I'm pleased to meet you. Ah, you can't remember your dreams. Okay. Do you use any cannabis products or any kind of medication? We have to rule that out scientifically. Hello, hello, hello. Where are you from, Eve? What part of the world are you from? And welcome to Northern California, by the way, where the rain has stopped. Thank God, finally. Okay, don't worry. We're going to help you get over that problem. You got to figure out what's causing you not to remember. Los Angeles. All right. Well, howdy, neighbor. You're just about what is that? 6-hour drive, 7-hour drive south of here. I live about 50 minutes north of San Francisco. So if you go across the Golden Gate Bridge and you go through that tunnel, it's got the gay pride rainbow painted on it. You go through that and go up through Marin County. You will come to Petaluma, and then you go past Petaluma, and then Cotati, and then you'll find Santa Rosa. So I'm right in that area. Kat, welcome. England, yay. Oh, are you snowing there? Oh. Where's that rain? I'm getting old. You know, I've only been wearing glasses for the last 3 years. I had perfect vision before that. But I have like a stigmatism in my right eye. So, but my left eye is perfect vision still. When you get old, when you hit 50, those of you who are not 50 yet, guess what? You have a surprise coming, probably. New Hampshire. Nice. I have a lot of family up in that area. A lot of family in Maine. A little bit in New Hampshire. My mom was born in Augusta, Maine, and my dad was from Florida. So I have a lot of family in all across the eastern seaboard, Texas. On my grandma's side, she was from Sam Houston's line, so I'm related to Sam Houston in that way. Distant descendant. Snow. Wow. You know, where I live, it gets cold enough to snow, but there's never moisture in the air when the cold air is here. So, but just east of here, we have two big mountain ranges. I'm sure you guys have heard of Mount Shasta before. That's just up the road past Sacramento. They get lots of snow. Susan Cherry, welcome. We've been waiting on you. Okay, one of the things I try to do is to not be afraid, is to remind myself that everything in this world is an illusion. It is. It totally is. The only thing that is real resides in our consciousness. That's right. Ah, really, Lala? You saw a UFO at Mount Shasta. You know, I've been here for 2 years. I came here in the middle of the pandemic when my roommate invited me to come out here and stay because I really needed a place to live then. So she goes, "Come on out to California." So that's why I'm here. I've been here since September of 2020. Did the guy that bought the tire for you and your dad, did he ever come to you? Did you ever see him again? No. I never saw him again. Never in that form, at least. Never. He might have looked He might have looked different. He might have had multiple. He might. I can tell you, whatever you want to call him, angel, guide, whatever, they can shapeshift for sure. When I was telling you guys, when I was telling Jeff on his podcast about the family, I call them. You can call them the devil, Lucifer. They actually call themselves. I read an article. I think it was on that Above Top Secret website back in like 1999 or 98. I read this article where the people from Above Top Secret interviewed somebody from the family, and it's a very good interview. If you want to read it, just look up. If you can't find the link, let me know and I'll send you a link. But you can Google here. You can Google this and you'll find it. Look up hidden. If I spell it right, hidden hand. And look up. In the same search bar, you can type in interview, or just look up hidden hand interview. And you'll see there's an interview with one of their spokespeople, and he said they every once in a while they have to come out and divulge certain information because it has to do with our freedom of choice, or what's the phrase I'm looking for? Free will. It has to do with our free will. They have to put stuff out in the public eye at certain times so that they don't stop us from exercising our free will somehow. I can't remember the exact wording he used, but it's a very interesting interview, and I would suggest, as always, as I tell everybody, always take what resonates with you in your soul and throw away the rest. Even stuff I say. because I'm just a messenger. But maybe, let's see. Ah, thanks, Lala. Mandela effect. Now that's something we should do a couple of videos on in the future. That's a very interesting one. There's a lot of people that think we've already gone into like another kind of dimension or realm or a frequency or a vibration. They say we're already in another vibration. That's why we're having these weird. I swear the biggest one for me is Star Wars. I swear we always said, "Luke, I'm your father," right? Or wait, Luke, this is your father. Something like that. And I swear everybody remembers that. That was from our age group. But when you go back and watch these movies, like, oh, another one was Snow White, right? It was always mirror, mirror on the wall. But now when you go back and watch it, it's magic mirror on the wall. I'm like, where did magic come from? Yeah, C3PO leg, exactly. Kat, I'm happy you are here with us. I'm just y'all's reflection, really. um, you can look it up also on J Dreamer Z YouTube channel. I don't think I've ever heard of that channel. Luke, I am your father. Exactly. Now what is it? It's something that doesn't even sound that way. It sounds like Luke. What does it say now, Lala? When you watch it, I haven't even gone back and watched any of those. And yeah, um, there's one about the bears. What are about the? I never saw that cartoon. Not Paddington Bears. What was it? Um, oh, it's on the tip of my tongue. No, that's right. No, I am your father. Where the hell did that come from? Yes. Oh, what's another one? I think Forrest Gump. Like Mama always said, life's like a box of chocolates, right? But that's not what it says when you listen to it now. It says something totally different now. Bernstein Bears. That's it. That's the one. Right. I never saw that. Not only do I not know who they are, but where did they come from? You all know who this cartoon or the book or whatever it was. I've never even seen that. So did my parents just not know who this bear family was or what? Oh right, the spelling was different, right? Oh, and also, yeah, the whole reason it's called Mandela effect is because everybody remembers him being assassinated in the 80s, right? I think I remember that too. But all of a sudden, he was alive instead of being assassinated somehow. Yeah, it's all very weird. It's like there's something going on. I don't know how to explain it. Years ago, like around 2000, when I was really sick, and you know, I was, yeah, I couldn't even get out of bed. I researched a lot of stuff, just trying to take my mind off all the sickness and pain. And I went down some deep rabbit holes, and I researched this flat Earth theory thing. Some of the some of the arguments are pretty compelling, I have to say. But I just had to get away from that world because then there became all these subgroups that some believed this but didn't believe that, and some, it got too convoluted. So I had to step away from that. Can you share a bit more about the dark side being one big happy family? Yeah, I tell you what, but let's do that another. I'll do a special. I'll dedicate another stream for that, okay? Because we're straying away from my main topic, and I got to give you the 5 ingredients, and I think we've only covered 2, and a little bit of the 3rd ingredient: how to astral project. So let me get back on that track. Sorry for the people that have short attention spans out there. But I told you, this channel, we're going to slow things down, right? This is not, there is no rush here. I don't want anybody to feel like there's ever a rush. I want us to collaborate and understand each other without rushing. There's no rush because there is no time. We just think there's time because we're taught there's time. That's another fear, okay? Fear of being evicted from your home if you don't pay your mortgage or your rent, right? That's a fear you have to get rid of. Or, there's certain things where you kind of have to do so you don't get put in jail, I guess. But for the most part, fears are nothing more than that. They're just illusions. He died in prison, that's right, Eve. Yeah, quantum is an understatement. Man, I'm telling you, we all have an infinite amount of lives we're living, and not only that, but we have an infinite amount of choices we can make. And each choice has a whole set of quantum leaps that are associated with it. And like I said, every second that ticks on a clock, you can make another choice that changes somebody's life. And it's hard to even comprehend making a choice every second, but you literally could. I mean, I don't know how you would do it and how. I guess if you were really wealthy and you could make a lot of choices every second to, you could line up a bunch of, you could have, you could line up a bunch of events that would happen every second. I guess somehow, like, I don't know how you would do it. I'm sure there's a way you could do it if you just had a lot of time and money on your hand. But yeah, that wasn't the point of my experience, though. It was just the possibilities just were endless. The choices you could make. Ag, good morning. Fear the main problem. It used to happen naturally as a young person. Now I can't do it. Yes, this is very common theme. A lot of people said it was easy to do as a kid, but now as an adult, it's almost impossible. But hey, I did it as an adult. Took me 56 very frustrating nights, but I did it. And I didn't have to sit in a pretzel position. I didn't have to, hum or any. I'm telling you, I did it from a very scientific way. And I'm going to tell you in a moment, if I can ever get back there, how I did it. There's all kinds of stuff out there that will mislead you and send you down rabbit holes you don't really need to go down. Okay. Right. A small blue being that scared the hell out of you. Okay, what was so ferocious about a tiny blue bean? What kind of bean was it? Did it have big teeth? Why did it scare you? Dan, you just uncovered a secret weapon I was going to talk about in here in a little bit. Crystals. There's something to them when you astral project, for sure. I did a lot of experiments with crystals before I had my first experience. Okay, so this little creature looked really stern, like an angry grandma. So it was like creepy, like Chucky's on Child's Play. Um, okay, it looked stern. Did it look at you like it wanted to eat you or something? I'm sorry, I'm not making light of it. It's I can just picture this little creature looking at you in a really bad way. Huh. Okay. Yeah, and also that's another thing. I'm glad you reminded me of something. So even before you hit the vibrational stage, which I haven't talked about yet, you're gonna see things. You're gonna see things come in your vision. You're gonna see headshots of people you've never seen before. You're gonna hear things. You're gonna hear knocks on the door. You're gonna swear that somebody's on your front door or at your bedroom door knocking really loud, and they want to come in. But that is just your mind, I think. Some kind of trick your mind plays to try to get you not to do this. It's like our brains were programmed to not let us do it, at least easily. It and I don't know the history behind that yet. I hope we find out in time. Somebody in our group is going to have the piece of the puzzle that puts that into more perspective. I'm sure of it. I feel that. That's why I'm so excited, because I know I've seen this coming for a long time, and I knew once we got the right people involved here, we're going to see some amazing things happen. Because that's just my life in general. Every day is like this. All these synchronicities and things. You just have no idea. But now I can tell you. I can tell you what I experience every day now. It's no fun being by yourself and experiencing all these synchronicities alone. It's fun when you have all these other people that are having the same synchronicities with you. That's where the fun is. That's why if you're somebody who's like an introvert, you kind of um, you kind of what's the word I'm looking for? If you're an introvert and you don't like to mingle with people, it's okay. You, you know, you don't have to feel like you're not normal or something. But um, it's good. It's good to come out of your shell once in a while. Especially in this kind of setting. I consider you all my family, and I just met you today. But I know you. I know if I didn't have this brain trapping me, I know I would know you all just like I would feel like I feel like I've known a lot of you my whole life, like in talking with you in the last day. No, it's not fun alone. Sounds like the angry grandma may have been a part of your memory or past life experience. Yeah, look, I don't know if any of you are like me. Um, I'll have strangers like I'll be in the past. I haven't. I've been locked down since the pretty much since the pandemic started because my roommate's mother lives near us and she has cancer, which is very sad, and we don't want to give her COVID. So we have since I've since I got here to California, we always pick up our groceries curbside. Still, even today, and the only time I've been out of lockdown, sort of, is just being in nature. Like walk along the beach or something like that. But Ah, I can't wait to hear about your downloads, Eve. Okay, back to astral projection. Okay. So you got to get rid of your fear. So we'll pin that as something we'll work on with people who have a problem with the fear. If you have fears, don't be shy. Reach out to me or somebody in the group. I'm sure there's plenty of us that will help encourage you and figure out ways to get rid of your fear, okay? Don't feel like you're all alone or you're lagging behind or something in the future, okay? Just don't be shy. Just send me a instant message, or well, nowadays they call it a direct message, right? I'm still catching up with where all of you are today. I'm still back in 2008 when I was 38 years old. I just lost 14 years of my life. But okay, the next thing you want to do is clear your mind. This is probably the second most problematic area for people to astral project. In order to clear your mind, it's hard. Think about it, especially when you have fear in your life and you're worrying about things, like you're worrying about bills, or you're worrying about your kids being sick, or you're worrying about whatever. Don't worry. You have to get rid of all this stuff. And there's different techniques. Actually, there's this technique I saw on a video the other day. It's this young girl. I think she's only like 19. And I'll have to find the link to her channel so you guys can go to her channel and support her. She's really smart. I saw her on an interview. She calls herself an astrophotographer. Have you guys ever seen this girl? She catches UFOs in her pictures. But anyway, she also is big into teaching people how to meditate and stuff. I don't think she teaches astral projection, but she had a video on how to clear your mind, and I've never heard this technique, and I'm going to share it with you. She said, focus on your throat. If you focus on your throat, she says, it will clear your mind. And I've never heard of that technique, so I haven't tried it yet. But I tried it, but I didn't really put a whole lot of effort into it yet. But I want to try that to see if it works. So try it and let me know if it works. RC, welcome. Good morning. Yes, okay. Oh, this is going to be my next thing. Okay, so another technique you can use to clear your mind, I used to do, and Robert Monroe teaches this also in his Hemisync course, which I got for free back in the day, by the way. I didn't have to pay for it, but it's pretty expensive. Good morning. Where are you from, Marcy? Does the RC stand for remote control? Your nickname is going to be easy. Houston, all right. It does stand for remote control. All right. Remote control failures. Ah. Houston. Every time I've driven through or around Houston, it's always been raining. Every single time. Something about Houston and rain. I don't know what it is. So, what Robert Monroe teaches, and what I did for a long time when I was practicing, was you want to picture like a vault or like maybe a safe, an imaginary safe that's next to your head. And just picture all your thoughts getting sucked out of your brain and going into that vault or that safe. I developed this technique. I pictured like a wave of starting from the year I was born all the way through my life. Just imagine a big wave that wiped all your memories from your mind. And every time a memory would cry. I don't know if this has ever happened to you guys. Like a lot of times you'll just be laying in bed, going to sleep, and then something from 20 years ago pops up in your mind. Maybe there's a relationship you had with somebody and your mind's still working out what happened with that relationship or something. You never got closure or something. That usually kind of messed me up a lot because your mind just goes down, it tries to, it just, tries to solve problems constantly. When you're down, you're not thinking about anything else. It goes into problem solving mode, and you have to just put all those problems in that safe and then shut the door. And every time another problem comes in your mind, you have to go whoop in that safe. And that's how I used to do it. But I definitely want to try this new throat technique. That sounds easier. Okay, so once you get all the thoughts cleared out of your mind, okay, so you're relaxing your body. Also, a technique to relax your muscles. I'll say this one. I used to think you're laying on your bed. you're when you start to get close to being in this trance, ultimately you get in this thing called a hypnagogic trance. And so basically you're hypnotizing yourself in essence. It's basically what you're doing here. But once you're before the melatonin gets injected and you feel the wave, as I call it, it starts, for me it starts in my toes and comes up my body, and then it's a real panicking feeling when it gets to your lungs and stuff, your muscles up here in your chest. It's a real, a lot of people feel like somebody's sitting on them or something, but it's not. It's just your muscles are going to sleep, and your body's going to get real heavy. It's going to feel real heavy on your bed. When it gets to be like that, just imagine there's a bunch of hands underneath you, and it's slowly lifting you down into the bed. Just picture that happening to you. Like, just imagine like 10 people are holding you up like in a rock concert or something, and they're slowly lifting you down into the bed. Just picture that, and that'll help you you'll start to feel lighter then. So you're relaxing your body, get rid of your fears, pump love in your heart, clear your mind. And in the future, this is just volume 1, okay? I'm just going over the basics. In the future, we'll take one of these things and we'll focus on it and give all the different kind of ways you can do it. But I'm just kind of giving you the main keys to the kingdom right now. So your mind's clear. Now, you want to set your intention. You want to set your intention on something. Some people, like Robert Monroe, teaches you he teaches you to say a phrase. For example, he doesn't call it mantra. What does he call it? He calls it affirmation. That's what he calls it. So you want to say an affirmation. Like, what is your goal? Once you come out of your body, what do you want to do? Somebody asked that a little bit ago. So you set your intention. So let's say, for me, I've been trying to go to, I used to, and that's what I'm going to try to do now going forward, is I'm trying to get to Sirius. I want to go to Sirius. And apparently there's a being there, somebody who looks just like us. I think One of my friends, I think she joined this channel. I'm not sure if she's live right now. Her name is Mimi Eccles. See if she's on right now. Is everybody here? Or are we... Can you all hear me? Did I lose you all? Looks like I'm still online. It still shows me being live. Oh. Did I lose you guys? What happened? Did you guys become disconnected from me? Oh. Okay. I looked in the participants list and it showed only me. Okay, I can see everybody now. That was weird. I don't see my friend Mimi, but Mimi is a very special spiritual friend of mine. She lives in Florida, and I think she actually owns a couple leopards or cheetahs or something like that. And she said there's a guy on, I think, Sirius B. She wanted, and his name was like Enokin, and I'm supposed to give him a message from her if I can ever get there. Barb, hello, and good morning. Where are you from, Barb? Barb Kennedy. You know, hi, Barb. Where are you from? And welcome. We've been missing you. Illinois. All right. Is it snowing where you live right now? Oh, yeah. I thought I lost the connection. Okay, so yeah. So a friend of mine in Florida, her name is Mimi. You can look on my friend list on Facebook and see her. She's a very special person, and she actually, I believe, she channels. She uses the angel board. Have you guys ever heard of one of those? And she uses like a pendulum to talk to different entities. And there's an entity on Series B who she talks to with this pendulum, if I remember right. And his name is Enokin, something like that. And if I ever get there, I'm supposed to deliver a message from her. So, but I haven't been able to deliver that message that I can remember yet. Anyway, so I really now Sirius B is 8.3 light years away from here, but in your spirit form, you can get there like that. You don't have to get in a spaceship and travel 8 years to get there. That's the cool thing about being in your spirit form. All you got to do is think about wherever you want to go, and you're there. No snow, huh? Can everybody hear me okay? Am I coming in okay? Okay. I want to make sure I have you all before I move on. I see you all in the list. I see Ariane, Barb, Catherine, Deb at the beach, who's lurking in the shadows. Eduardo from España. Eve. Jim Husky, welcome. That's a name I haven't seen yet. Welcome. It's a pleasure and honor to meet you, sir. We have remote control failures from Houston. Rick, welcome. Good morning. You snuck in here on me. I didn't see you. Oh, there you go. Listening. Okay. All right. So after you clear your mind, you're going to want to set your intention. Remember, your thoughts are very powerful. Do you go through tunnels? I have never gone through a tunnel like I did on my near-death experience when I astral project. No. Can you go through tunnels? Probably. I don't know. Yeah, when you during my near-death experience, it was totally different experience than when I first astral projected. And I'm going to tell you about my first experience, maybe if we have enough time. If you guys haven't fallen asleep on me yet, and I got to get some sleep too, because I've been up for a very long time with very little sleep. I got a couple hours today, but I've been sort of high on adrenaline because I've been so happy to meet all you guys and find out how we're connected, and it's been incredible. Vic L, hello, Virginia Beach. We have two people from Virginia Beach in the chat right now. You, Vic, are joined with, she's lurking in the shadows right now, but she said she's with us. Oh, maybe she's not. Maybe she's totally in the shadows now. I don't see her here anymore. But yeah, we had somebody on. Deb at the beach. That's her name. She's here. She was here with us from Virginia Beach, and I told her that I used to be stationed there. I was stationed out of Langley, and then I worked at Northwest on just outside Chesapeake. Oh, there you go. You're here. You were really lurking. You were like in incognito mode. You weren't showing up on my list. Well, Deb, meet Vic. Vic, meet Deb. Well, I'm from Tampa, Eve. Now that's very interesting. Who else said they were from Tampa? Bueller. I like that cat. That's awesome. You guys understand my language. It's amazing. I always say that when there's a pause in the action. I'm like, Bueller, Fry. Okay. Back to set your intentions. Okay, so Vic, I'll catch you up real fast, and Jim, I'll catch you guys up real fast. Okay, and you can rewind back to get all the details of what I've said so far. But to astral project, you need to relax your body. Okay, there's a lot of techniques if you roll back. Relax your body while you clear your mind. Pump love into your heart. Think of a memory in the past that you've had that makes you really happy. Maybe you were in love, you fell in love with somebody, or you had a baby, or whatever is the happiest moment you can think of to get you in that loving feeling. That's really important when you astral project. You always want to have that love. And the next thing is you have to get rid of your fear. This is the hardest thing people have. And then you have to clear your mind at the same time you're doing all this other stuff. And I was telling everybody a new technique I just learned about just last week, where you think about your throat, and that clears your mind. I don't know how that works yet. I just found out about it. Or you can think of like a safe or a bank vault, imaginary bank vault next to your head. put all your thoughts in there. Everything. Family, friends, bills, work, anything and everything. You want a totally clean slate. Put everything in that vault and close the door. And every time a thought enters your mind, throw it in that vault. That's how you clear your mind. Okay, so after that, you're going to want to set an intention. Intention. This is where you're going to focus on your third eye. And if you don't know where that third eye is exactly, you can just look at a candle. Okay, I'll just use this candle. Just stare at a candle. But don't look at the flame. Look at the blue. You're gonna see a little blue flame on top. Look at that blue flame for like 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Just look at that flame like this. And this is gonna burn like an image into your retina, or your whatever that is. Have those little pictures you can look at? It's like a. I've seen quite a bit of them online over the years. It burns it burns a negative into your eye, and then when you blink your eyes, you actually see the real picture. But that's kind of like what this is going to do. Just look at that blue flame. That flame is going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. And after you do that, you're going to want to blow the candle out and then lay down. And then you'll see exactly where your third eye is in the dark. That thing will light up. It'll be lit up. And you can also look at a computer screen, something that has, and then your third eye is going to be right in the middle of that square that's burned into your eye. Sarasota. Oh, wow. I've been there many times. I went on some, when I was a lot younger, I went on some blind dates down there in Bradenton. The girls down in Bradenton, some of them are kind of crazy. No offense to anybody if they're from Bradenton. Yes, love, relax, no fear, clear mind, set intention. So yeah, let's say you want to go to the moon, or me, I want to go to Sirius B, 8.3 light years away. That's what you set your intention on. And you can say something like, I will astral project tonight. You say this to yourself in your head, like, I will astral project tonight, I will travel to Sirius B, and you just make up your own little intention or whatever, and say that a few times. Okay. And then just focus on that intention, like you want it to happen, right? So I remember I told you there was this little stream of stars in where your third eye is. You can focus on that, and what you'll see is those little stars will actually turn colors. They'll get purple, yellow, they'll get all kinds of colors, but what you want is the blue and purple colors. Those are the best colors to travel on. A way you can speed this process up, I found, is if you are picturing yourself doing some kind of action, picture the stream is going to be coming towards you, so you want to go into that stream coming towards you. So you can picture yourself running. I've done that before. Just imagine yourself running in your third eye towards that stream, just running. Just imagine it. Or you can be like paddling a boat towards it, or anything action, swimming towards it, or whatever. As long as you're doing that and you're making way, that's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger in your field of vision. And when you see that, things are about to really get exciting. Okay, so then eventually, the last component, Jim, the last component is you're going to want to say something over and over in your head. Not out loud, though. It could be banana, 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 banana. It's the same principle of counting sheep. You know, 1 sheep, 2 sheep, whatever. What happens is when you do that, you're telling your brain that you're not going to use it for a while, and your brain's going to start conserving energy, and it's going to shut everything in your body down because you're just rambling. You're saying banana, banana, banana. This is why Indians, you know, they do the chants to go, hey, yay, 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 yay. It's the same principle, and it's why monks do the same thing. They chant. And what do they call those guys? The twirling dervishes or whatever? Those guys do the same thing. They just spin in circles. There's a bunch of different ways you can do it, but really, you're just putting your mind to sleep while your body. You're putting your body to sleep while your mind stays awake. This is the next critical junction. So your eyes are going to get heavy, and you're going to feel like sleeping. But this is when you have to kick in gear and be vigilant. So yeah. So by this time, your muscles should be very relaxed. You're going to feel very heavy. And at some point, you're going to feel this wave come across you. It's going to be this, it's going to paralyze everything in you. I'm telling you, normally you're asleep when this happens. So when it happens, you got to be prepared for it. But don't freak out. Just go with it. Say, oh, here, Mark said the wave's coming. That must be what this is. So just let that wave just ride. And you're just going to have to get used to it. It may freak you out a few times, but just know that there is no reason to panic. It's just something you're not used to feeling, you know. You just got something you'll have to get used to. After a while, it's like riding a bike. Purple and blue dots. Yes. So normally those little stars or whatever dots, those are normally white and black for me. But as you get more and more into this trance, you're gonna see things that start floating in your vision. Your mind is gonna start trying to play tricks on you. You're gonna see people you've never seen before. You're gonna see like a cow, something just come into your vision. It's gonna float on by. Do not pay attention to those things. They are tricks. Focus on your third eye. Focus on those dots and your intention. Don't focus on anything else that's going on. There'll be so many things. Those are, it's almost like your mind actually puts these obstacles in front of you so you can't do it. Like we were not meant to do this. Or, I don't know. Like I said, somebody in here is going to have the answer to that one day, and I can't wait for that, because I don't know if this was by design, basically you are overriding a safety valve or safety switch by doing this technique to come out of your body. We do it every night, whether we try this or not, but this is a way that where you are in control from the very start. Okay, so after the wave comes over you real fast after that, if you can make it past the wave, you're just home, you're almost home free. So once you're paralyzed, you cannot move. You cannot move any muscles, because if you do, you're going to come out of that trance. And when you get in this trance, you're going to be as wide awake as you can hear me right now. You're not going to feel any different than you would if you were talking to me or talking to anybody else. You're going to be your spirit. You're just trapped in your body. And it's going to feel weird. So like I was telling you earlier, you're going to hear knocks on the door. Some people hear bells ringing. For me, I usually hear a loud gunshot. It sounds like somebody shoots a double-barrel shotgun right next to my head. Or it might sound like a transformer blew outside your house or something. I'm telling you, you're going to hear knocks on the door. I hear knocks. I also hear my name being whispered by a female behind me. I don't know why it's always a female, but it always is. Some people, especially men, when you come out of your body, you're going to feel the whiskers. If you have some whiskers, you'll actually feel the whiskers on your energy body. And a lot of people think that there's somebody breathing behind them, but that's your breath breathing on your own energy body or your soul. You can actually feel that with your soul, your energy body. And people freak out. They think somebody's behind them, and they get all freaked out, and they move. And once you move, it's all over. All right, so once you make it past that, that's when I get the humming. I hear that sound. And that's when this bolt of lightning goes shoop. And then I hear all my locks. Always, I hear all the locks, or you call it chakras, whatever you want to call them. They're all in the same places where these chakra charts show them. I hear that you can hear them all go psh, psh, psh. It's really loud. It's going to freak you out. It's really loud. It's going to sound like a city bus is inside you. Put it on the brakes, or a big rig. Put it on their air brakes or whatever. It might startle you. Just don't move. And right when that happens, your body is going to go. Just like one of those, if you've ever seen those super magnets where they pour the liquid nitrogen and it floats above a magnetic track, that's exactly how your body's going to feel. It's going to go, in the camera, it's going to go like that. It's going to go just like that. It's going to go like that. It'll come to a rest. And the way I feel, it feels like I'm inside of a coffin or a little submarine, just big enough for my body to fit in. And you're sitting there and you're like, okay, what's going on? But you're going to be wide awake, totally wide awake. And that, the first time I did it, that is when I didn't go anywhere. Even though my intention was to go somewhere, somebody else had a different intention for me, because that's when I realized that these dots turned into a TV screen. And that's when I actually went into the TV screen and had the experience I had. And I wrote a big blog about it. I'll try to find the link. It's like over a decade ago, like 12 years ago. I wrote down everything I experienced, and it was very surreal. You know, a lot of these Egyptian hieroglyphics that show like a man with a bird head, like a stork. I saw them. I saw like reptilian looking people or beings, but they're not like you would think. Not like on that movie. If you've ever seen the movie Jupiter Ascending, or is it Jupiter Rising? No, Jupiter Ascending, right? They had these crocodile-looking beasts that were in the red eye of Jupiter. They're not like that. They look just like us. The skin is just like ours, but it's a little bit like a reptile skin, but it's smooth. Anyway, I got to interact with a lot of beings that you would see in ancient Egypt. It was pretty incredible. And I think I titled my blog entry, I titled it Intergalactic TV Signals Reaching Earth. And this, I'm going to tell you a little few tricks I used for this first experience. The more I practiced doing this, the more that I could see with my third eye in the darkness. It got so bright in my bedroom that I used to put a couple sleep masks on. I would put pillows over my head, and I could see through all that. that's how powerful your third eye is once you get it cranked up and tuned up. Corey, Tacoma, Washington, welcome. It's a pleasure to meet you, and thanks for joining us. That's awesome. I'm glad you guys saw the saw that I started a stream. Do you know we've been here for 2 hours and 29 minutes live? Good Lord. Time flies when you're having fun. The sun hasn't come up here yet. We're still in the dark. It's 5:31 here in California. So yeah, what I did, so what I got very frustrated because I needed it to be dark, I thought, because it was so bright. I could see everything in my room. It was all lit up like a Christmas tree. So I wanted it to be dark so I could see the stream, because when everything's lit up, it's hard to see that little stream in your third eye. So what I came up with, I said, well, maybe a metal would stop the light. So I took 2 quarters out of my drawer, my little end table, or little table by the bed, and I took them out and I put them on my eyes. You know, kind of like quarters cover my eyes perfectly. So I would recommend quarters if you want to give it a try. Maybe even $50 if you really want to make sure no light gets in. But yeah, I was laying on my back and I had these quarters over my eyes, and I had this little pyramid crystal, and I put that on my forehead. It was sticking straight up. So I thought it was acting like some kind of antenna, because all of a sudden, this TV screen came on and there was a game. And with my mind, I could. It was very. The screen was kind of fuzzy, so I used my mind to kind of fine tune the channel. But I wasn't the one with the remote control. Somebody else had the remote control, and I was sitting among a bunch of people like in a theater, and somebody was clicking the remote control. The first thing I saw was this game being played, kind of like a cross between golf and croquet. And I'm like, where in the hell is this cable coming from? How am I seeing cable TV in my third eye? I had no idea how this was working, but I was like, this is cool as hell. And I'm telling you, I was more wide awake than I'm talking to you right now. No different. You have to go. Arian, it's so nice to meet you, and thanks for stopping in tonight. I want to learn more about you, so come back. Tell us more about you. Tacoma, Washington, Corey. All right. So that was the first channel that was on the TV screen, and then somebody clicked the remote or clicked the channel. I don't know how they did that, but somebody in the audience around me was clicking through channels. The second channel that popped, so that game, the channel changed, and it was like a 1950s version, black and white TV screen of our History Channel. But it wasn't our History Channel, but it reminded me of our History Channel. And on the TV, on the channel, there was a documentary that looked like Hitler addressing the masses and giving one of those famous speeches, but it wasn't Hitler. It was one of these lizard-type beings. And at some point, this being, in the middle of his speech, just stopped his speech, and he looked up at me, and like I was kind of floating above this crowd of just hundreds of thousands of people in this big square, like you would see in Ukraine or something, when they were having this revolution. and he stopped the speech, and everybody stopped, and he just looked at me. He looked up at me, and he started talking to me telepathically. And I was like, okay, how are you doing this? But he was speaking this really weird language that's not here on this earth. I can guarantee you that. And I started asking him questions like, where am I from? And he told me I was from this place I can't even pronounce. This is a really long word. And he said he said I had like a soul mother, I guess you could call it. And her name was Rocelli. I'll never forget it. Rocelli. And he told me that where I was from was this planet somewhere, not in this solar system and not in this galaxy. It was in another place. But the name was so long in spoken language. I'm telling you, it was a really weird language. And but I could understand him perfectly through my mind. And that was my first real experience outside of my near-death experience where I was able to talk telepathically. But then earlier, I was able to, earlier, before my near-death experience, which is another whole saga. Maybe we'll have a 4th and 5th podcast with Jeff about those experiences, because I've been able to talk telepathically in this body, in this reality before. But I never initiated the conversation. Somebody else always initiated it. So I'm taking baby steps. I've learned how to barely initiate a link, but it's a really rough link. It's not a full comm link. It's like a half, kind of like the plug is kind of half plugged in, and it's almost connecting. But I can get somebody's attention now. I've tried it a million times, and I know it works. It's the same principle as the one I told you about, where if you break the magnetic field between you and another person, if you make it, that causes a disturbance, and you can feel it. It's the same principle. If you look at somebody, try this today, wherever you are in the world. Try this with some total stranger, and just put your intent out, and just imagine like a stream. Just imagine like you're sending a data stream to that person from your head to their head, and pick a symbol. Like for me, it's always a 4-leaf clover. I always use 4-leaf clovers. I don't know why I picked that. Just imagine you're sending a stream of 4-leaf clovers to that person, and on these 4-leaf clovers, you are putting a message on, like maybe a 1 word per 4-leaf clover, or whatever you want to use, hearts or whatever. Just picture that stream of whatever your symbol is in a wave going to them, and see if they turn around, or see if they react, or send them a message saying, hey, I'm right behind you, or say, you can use this at a bar. I did this at a bar. I used to get bartenders' attention that way, and it worked every time. I would send them messages of saying, hey, I need help over here. I'm the guy, or whatever. I would actually think a message to say to them, and every time they would come, they would even skip 3 people in front of me, and they would pick me to give me a drink. I did it over. As a matter of fact, I did it twice in Virginia Beach. Vic. And Vic and Deb at the beach. I actually used that technique there. So yeah, this went on and on. The channels kept changing, and just I had some there was one where I saw like it was another reality of Kennedy when he was president and he was shot, but he was riding with 2 very beautiful females, but they had bird beaks, but the beaks didn't make them look weird. It was in a certain way where they looked actually attractive to me. It was weird. I can't explain it. These beings looked the same as these weird looking like Anubas and stuff in Egypt, but they looked like attractive to me. Like nor I wouldn't think. I mean, I don't know. Very strange. So anyway, that was my first projection experience. I didn't go anywhere. I sort of did, but I didn't travel anywhere. But my mind definitely traveled to these places. But I was instantly there. I didn't travel anywhere. I was already there every time. I saw a new channel and I jumped in the channel. I was already there. I didn't have to go anywhere. So that's how we travel in the universe the same way. If you want to go to Jupiter, you're already there. It's like bam. You don't have. There's no. You're not hop, skipping, and jumping. You're just boom, instantly there whenever you want to be. Okay, so that's one way you can travel is through this TV screen I was telling you about. You can also according to Robert Monroe, and I've read a couple of his books. He calls them locales. You can travel in this. He calls this locale 1 in our realm. He calls it locale 1. So in locale 1, it takes a lot of your soul energy to do it, but you can travel to a friend's house and you can float right in their house and watch them sleep or anything you want to do. According to some of my friends, you can actually take somebody with you, but you have to have their permission. But I've never been able to do that. I've actually had one astral projection experience with a cat. No lie. Your pets can astral project with you. I've done it, and it was a pretty surreal experience. But I've only been able to do that one time. I don't know how to do that every time. So I'm still a very baby in the control of this. It seems like I need to figure out how to get more control with my intentions. I think that's where I'm lacking, is my intentions. And when you get kind of sleepy, your intentions kind of go by the wayside sometimes, and I think I need to put more effort into that area. But anyway, what do you guys think so far? Did any of that make sense? That's how to project. If you stare at the back of their neck, they will turn around. You've tried this before, Eve? Who is the question? Who is the question? Doris. Good morning. Where are you from, Doris? You snuck in on me. Oh, you're from Las Vegas. I see. I was too busy talking and didn't see you pop in. Sorry. Welcome to the family. I'm so happy all you guys came tonight. My heart is overflowing. You have no idea, because I've been waiting to do this for so long. And I'm gonna get emotional now because I've had to. It's a miracle. I'm telling you, it's a miracle. I'm even sitting here talking to you all. It's like I'm in a dream. Look into the left eye to transfer data. Well, that's a new piece of information I've never heard before. Where in California are you originally from, Doris? I know, right? Look, after I got through with Jeff, you guys saw the video 2 nights after the interview. I actually had the interview with Jeff on a Friday night. And, he told me that his wife, Mara, I haven't met her yet, but she seems so nice. She, she actually stalked my Facebook and got a picture from like 2008 when I got sick. That's the picture she used for my headshot on his thumbnail. I was like, how did she get this? Because I sent him another picture. She didn't use it. But yeah, anyway, I was so drained after that interview. You have no idea. Because I had to drum up all these memories that I had kind of suppressed. Because you have to ground yourself here. You can't just live over there because your mind, the investigative part of me wants to always be there, right? I'm so intrigued by what I've seen so far and what I've experienced, and I want to go back. And we just don't remember it. But I'm telling you, I've had to take a break since 2013 until now. I'm just now ready to get back into this investigative experience with you guys. I'm telling you, this is the right time. It was just a perfect time. The way I met Jeff was surreal. I just met him a couple of weeks before the interview. I didn't know him before that. So it was a total chance meeting that I met him, and oh my God. Pretty surreal. San Diego. Oh my God. What did you think about? Did you watch I guess you did watch the podcast with Jeff. What did you think when I said that the first body I was able to see, my first life I was able to see was in San Diego, but in another dimension? What did you think about that? Pretty wild, right? Yeah, Eve, I get downloads all the time from my dreams. Deep breathing techniques help a lot for me when I'm grounding. Also, I like to do Akashic record meditations. I used to work with a girl in the military. She was a Navy girl, and she claimed to be a Wiccan, a witch, and a good witch, I guess. And she used to tell me she used to go into crystals. She said you can actually go into a crystal, and there's a way to get in there to the Akashic records as well. But I've never tried to do that. She says there's tunnels in crystals you can travel down, but there's guards that will guard the library inside of a crystal. I was like, when I first heard this, I knew nothing about any of this back then when I was in the military. And I was like, say, what? Tunnels in a crystal? And you're in there and there's guards and libraries and Akashic what? And now, all these time later, it's all starting to make sense to me. I'm starting to put all the pieces together. I've had all these experiences for a reason, and it's just overwhelming sometimes. Richard, Alabama. How about that? I used to, when I was 4, we used to live in Hueytown, Alabama, where a bad tornado came that year. It was an F5 that totally destroyed the trailer park we were living in, except for our trailer and about 8 others in Hueytown. That was when my dad was teaching. He was a principal of a K through 12 school in Birmingham. Yes, crystals do store data. That is correct. Yeah, quartz, any kind of quartz stores data. Your story was interesting and different from most others. Yeah, no doubt. There are some parallels for sure. I mean, I think in every NDE story I've ever seen, there's always that overwhelming feeling of love that we call it love for lack of a better word, but it's probably a different, love may not be the right word for it, but the best word we have to describe it would be love, but I'm telling you, it's more like the best kind of love you can think about. Just think about the best feeling you ever had, like Maybe you were in love with somebody, that's head over heels with somebody, and it's the best feeling in the world. You know how everybody can sense it on your face when you walk into work or whatever. Everybody knows you're in love because you're just beaming, right? That's how it feels. You're just beaming you're just glowing, it feels like. Oh man. Yeah, I saw that. You've had all these squall lines come through there. Relief times a billion for you, Princess Lala. Oh man. You must have hated coming back. You said you had like 4 NDs, right? Before. Tuning forks have helped me. I also used to take ginkgo biloba to help with lucid dreaming. Oh, interesting. Oh, thanks for reminding me. I'm going to teach you guys a couple of tips and tricks, okay? So the way I taught you tonight is the method most people learn. But there's other ways to come out of your body. I might change the title of this, or no, I haven't even titled it yet. I just uploaded a thumbnail I made, a makeshift thumbnail. But I might title this "All the Ways I've Come Out of My Body Without Dying." I don't know. What do you think? I want to attract as many people as I can to come to our world. All the people that are meant to be here, put it that way. I don't want people that don't want to be here. Oh, my 3 loves, JSA. Welcome, good morning. So happy you came and joined us. You're kind of at the end, but don't worry. After this stream ends, you can wind it back and hear what we talked about. We've had a very interesting night tonight. Is lucid dreaming and astral projection the same? No, they are not the same. Because when you come out of your body, unlike a dream, you are totally awake. Just like a near-death experience. There's no difference. When you're lucid dreaming, it's vivid and you swear you're there, and you are, by the way. I told you, a lucid dream is a glimpse into other lives you're already living right now at the same time. So, I'm going to tell you a cool trick that I learned from a very experienced projector back in the day. So, okay, first I'm going to teach you another technique, real quick technique. So, set an alarm for every hour you're awake. Like you could be at work or whatever. Just set an alarm to go off every hour. And when that alarm goes off, you're going to want to look at your hands and ask yourself, am I dreaming? That's all you got to say one time. Am I dreaming? And then that's it. Go back to what you were doing. Every time that alarm hits, look at your hands. Am I dreaming? What's going to happen is once you do that enough times, you're going to start to do that in your dream state. And once you realize that you're in a dream, that's when you're in control, and that's when you can do anything you want. You can fly, you can whatever you want to do. Okay, that's the first step. Once you get in a lucid dream, the only thing you have to do, there's only one little step you got to do to have an out-of-body experience from there. So you're in control already, so it's easy. So all you got to do is jump off a cliff, jump off a high building or something in that dream, and you're going to, before you even hit the ground, that's the other myth. Remember you used to hear, oh, if you hit the bottom in a dream, that means you're dead. That's stupid. It's not true at all. You already know we don't die, right? So, the interview with Jeff, my 3 loves, that's nothing. That's an appetizer. You haven't seen anything yet. Chris the cat. I like your name. My first name's Christopher, but nobody's ever called me that in my life. Can you imagine? I did have one girl in first grade call me Christopher Columbus. And there was a coworker of mine in the Air Force who used to call me Christopher. But my parents, why do parents name you something and never call you that? I've never understood why. Doris, question: are you attached by silver or gold cord when you leave your body? Excellent question. Oh, before I answer that question, let me finish the other one. So once you're in a lucid dream, all you have to do is jump off something like tall, which of course you have to get rid of your fear to do that, because you're going to be like, yeah, I can't do that, can't have that fear. But the easiest way to project from a lucid dream state is to fall backwards. That's the easiest way. Just fall backwards like that, and you'll pop right up. Guarantee it. Guaranteed to work. I've done it. It works. It's pretty cool. But you have to know you're in a dream. That's the whole trick. So, like I said, it's going to take a while to get your brain in the habit of asking yourself if you're in a dream state or not, because you have to know that you're dreaming or not. Which is kind of ironic, because I think we're in a dream right now. It's kind of the same thing. We're in another illusion. Actually, it's kind of like Inception. We're in a dream within a dream when we're dreaming. It's like Inception. We're living a real life Inception. Good morning, Carol. Welcome. It's so nice to see you. Where are you from? I like the sunshine emoji. That makes me feel like definitely a dreamer. Yes, we are. There's a lot of discussions, philosophical discussions we could have about what, I think Jeff's already covered it, and everybody has told him the same thing. So I think that's pretty much a given. When we're out of this body in this life, it's more real. This is not real, but out of our body in spirit form is more real. So that means this is like a dream, or a illusion, as I call it. How do you say your name? Agus? Welcome, good morning. Where are you from? And Carol, I'm still waiting to see where you're from. I'm getting kind of slap happy, when you're so tired, you're just like, feel so drained. But I've really enjoyed your company tonight. Thank you all for coming and being with me tonight. Sweden. Svensk. I know how to count in Swedish. Ett, två, tre, fem, sex, sju, åtta, nio, tio. Something like that. And I know a school is gymnasium. And let's see, what else do I remember? I started, I had these, there was 4 girls that we met in Hawaii when I was really young. I was like 19 years old, and we took them around the island one night, and they taught us Swedish. Oh, yes. This is just the beginning, guys. This last 48 hours has been surreal. It's been like a little introduction, but we got more family coming. I can tell you. I can feel it. You guys are just early birds getting the first worms, I guess. Oh my god. The good news is, oh, thank you all for being characters in my dream. Right. All right. Who's going to be in whose dream tonight? Okay, so those of you who have joined, like, we've already been, this stream has been going for 3 hours in about 50 seconds. It'll be 3 hours. So in the beginning of the stream, when you roll it back, I'm going to tell you an epiphany I had today. So tell me what you think about that epiphany on the next stream. I'll probably do a stream tomorrow too. This is much better way to communicate, I think, than doing videos right now, because I can get right to the point and I can reach you without having to edit videos. Editing videos can take days. I mean, when you're like me and you have a learning curve. So I'd much rather do this. Mayo, welcome. Welcome to the family and good morning. You woke up one day from a nap and walked down the hall and ran into another version of myself. Well, that's not shocking, but it's cool. It shocked me and I was lifted up. You had like some kind of quantum collision, it sounds like. That's pretty cool. I've never heard of that happening before. Can you expand your autistic friend community who shares their revelations with you? Yes. I'm not sure. They're probably, I don't know. I haven't talked to that community in over a decade. I'm not sure if I could find them anymore. I met a lot of them on this community called Astral OOBE. I know it's a weird name, but I think he still has a community going. If you talk to Astral OOBE, tell him I said hi. He's a really awesome guy. It's all one word. Astral Boo, BOOBABY. Astral OOBE. He's on YouTube too. He has a YouTube channel. And I think he is from Philadelphia. So I met a lot of people there. And that's where I learned how to astral project in the beginning. And that's where I met a lot of autistic people from all over the world there. Your eyes were open the whole time. Wow. Hey, what do you guys think about me having like a Zoom session going and you guys can pop in and out and talk? What would you guys think about that? Would you be too shy for people to see you on camera or anything? Bridget, hello. Good morning. Okay. Even if one of you like to come on and talk with me in front of everybody, that was cool. But it would be cool if we could have people just rotate in and out. And I don't know, when I wake up, because I got to get some sleep, when I wake up later on today, I'm going to research how many people we can have in one session. And, we could probably have all of you guys in a one session, because until we get bigger, and then it might be kind of difficult, but maybe we could all take turns, I don't know. This is all a new thing. I don't know where we're going. I don't know how it's going to end up, but it's so cool to know that we're on the right path. No for you, Kat. Okay. Duly noted. No camera time for Kat. Yeah, I heard that. I haven't. I've only known Jeff. I've only known the Jeff Morrow Show podcast for a couple of weeks. So I've watched couple handfuls of interviews before I did mine. But yeah, I didn't know he had this open thing until I think it was yesterday or the day before. All right. I don't know. I'm nervous about that. Why are you nervous? There's no reason to be nervous. We're all connected and we're all like a family. You have a kid and he loves drums. Oh, I see. Are you worried that the drums will drum out what we're doing? I don't think anybody would complain about the drums. I certainly wouldn't. You could always mute your mic when you're not talking. Okay. Whew, yes. We open the door. um, yeah, so also, anybody you know who is not a subscriber of Jeff's show who you think might like um, the content we're going to be putting out here, just please invite him. And the more the merrier. We have to get. Okay, so yeah, I definitely want to know y'all, those of the latecomers that came on, go back, rewind the stream, and tell me what you think about my epiphany. I think it's a cool idea I had today. I'm surprised I haven't thought of this before, but I thought of a way we can that might bring some kind of change to the world if enough of us did this thing. So I want to know your opinion. So the next time we have a live session, oh, also, I also want to figure in time. I want to figure out the best times to have these streams, these live streams too. I think it worked out pretty good for those on the East Coast and those in Canada and this country for sure. I'm not sure about the rest of the world though. So I want to find the right times to do this so we reach the most people as possible. Okay. All right. Four leaf clover. I like the butterflies in the hearts. Okay, Carol. You have a great one. And actually, I think I will go ahead and say goodnight too because I am so tired. But thank you all for coming tonight. And this is volume one of astral projection. We'll have more. We'll talk about astral projection more in the future. I definitely want to get my language part going tomorrow too. I have to finish making a custom table for Chinese, so it won't take me very long to get that done. But I was thinking, I think I might have said this earlier. I think I might do like the language part of the channel in more in the daytime, and at nighttime I'll save that for like the campfire stories. You know, like the campfire, gather around the campfire type of thing. All right. Good night, everybody, or good day. I'll figure everything out later. I'm so tired, and again, I'm so thankful that I met all you. I've talked to so many people in the last 48 hours. It's incredible, and I'm looking forward. Telling you, I'm looking forward to getting to know all of you and finding out how we're all connected here. It's incredible. Um, Flap MZ language. Do you think that before the Tower of Babel, we were all telepathic. Yeah, actually, I might do a special video or a stream on the Tower of Babel because I don't think it was a tower at all. I think that was a mistranslation. I think it should be temple, not tower. Or you might substitute temple for Stargate. So I'll leave it there because that's an exciting subtopic for me for sure. I can tell you we weren't in Iraq and Afghanistan for oil or puppies. Put it that way. There's more to the story than meets the eye. I love to watch videos about specific topics like how to astral project and specific experiences. Oh, I just did a 3-hour you want to do a 10-minute video of astral projection? Is that what you're asking? Brass? All right, Rick. That's awesome. I can't wait. Hey, if you're kind of latecomer, I said earlier in the stream that I want to create a space for everybody to share their astral projection attempts and their results every day if they want to. And so we can all kind of compare notes and learn from each other and get better at it because I'm still a baby, believe it or not. But I've done it. And so I can encourage any of you at any time because I've done it. I've proved that you can do it. And that's major for us. But yeah, Brass, not everything's going to be live. I do plan on doing a lot of smaller videos too, but number one, I've never done a live stream in my life before. It was the middle of the night and I needed to get out to you guys, and I didn't want to spend all night editing a video because I was so tired. So I set up OBS. There's a program called OBS, and I put all the parameters in there, and it looks like it worked. So that's good. Now I have experience, which is good. Good night, everybody. I'm gonna sign off. Thanks for coming, and stay tuned. And also, just if you have specific questions you want to ask me in the future, just send me an IM. We're small enough right now where I can answer. I can do one-on-ones quite easy right now. I don't know how long that'll last, but I'll try my best. Yes, good titles. Exactly. Okay, Brass, that's your job in the group. Help me come up with awesome titles. All right, Richard, you snuck in on me. All right, don't forget to go back and watch everything. There's a lot of good information tonight. Good night, everybody. Thanks for coming in.